That's correct.
Welcome to the Geek and the Detective.
You know, Geek, when I started out, a thief actually had to have the guts to look you in the eye to take your life savings. Now, they're stripping you bare while you're sitting in your kitchen in your pajamas. It's a coward's game, but it's ruining more lives than I can count.
It really is. A lot of people might think it's just someone swiping your wallet at a grocery store or finding a stray credit card on the sidewalk. But it's way more insidious than that. It's digital, it's global, and it's incredibly precise. From your side of the badge, what exactly is identity theft in the eyes of the law when we strip away the tech jargon?
Good question, kid. Identity theft is basically when someone uses your personal information without permission to commit fraud. The law books call it fraud, but in my world it's a hostile takeover. It's not just about some ghost spending your cash. It's about them hijacking your reputation.
Exactly. It's fast. Imagine walking up to find out someone has already opened 10 credit cards in your name, or even filed taxes as you to steal a refund. That mental toll is heavy. It's like a consistent shadow over your life, worrying about what's next. It's like a virus in your personal operating system that you just can't uninstall.
It's more than a shadow. It's the worst case scenario. Remember in our very first show when we talked about the digital perimeter, we spent all that time hardening the doors and windows. Well, identity theft is what happens when those layers fail. They don't just break into your house. They move in, change the name on the lease, and start spending your paycheck while you're still standing in the kitchen.
That's a chilling way to put it, but you're right. It's the total collapse of the perimeter.
Absolutely. The harm goes deep. Victims often deal with anxiety, stress, even depression from the violation. It's a breach of your personal sanctuary. And the lifelong damage? Your credit score can tank in a single afternoon, making it hard to buy a house, get a loan, or even rent an apartment for years. I have seen cases where it affects job opportunities because background checks flag false criminal records that the victim didn't even know existed. Imagine being denied a dream job because you committed a felony 3 states away while you were at work.
And the numbers are staggering. The FTC gets over 1 million identity theft reports every year, and the FBI data shows cybercrime losses hit more than $16 billion.
Yeah, if a thief starts racking up debt or committing crimes in your name, you could end up on a watch list or flagged at the border. Imagine trying to board a flight for vacation only to have a TSA agent pull you out of line because your name is tied to unpaid fines or a warrant you didn't even know existed. It's a total nightmare trying to talk your way out of that while your family is standing there watching.
Wild. Let's make this real for everyone listening. Imagine an everyday person, we'll call him Alex, who's just out there living their life, hiking and grabbing coffee. Then one morning, Alex scrolls through their bank statement and sees charges for luxury gadgets they definitely didn't buy. Alex feels totally violated, and their whole life just got hijacked. That's the emotional gut punch people don't talk about enough. It's that sudden, total loss of safety.
Spot on. And cleaning it up, that is where the real grind starts. From my experience, it's like untangling a massive knot in the dark. You're going to be fighting every single false charge, breathing down the necks of creditors and desperately trying to prove you're actually you. It's a brutal, months-long slog. You are basically working a second full-time job that you never applied for and doesn't pay a salary. In fact, it costs you money.
It sounds like debugging 1 million lines of legacy code, but with more paperwork and fewer snacks. Speaking of which, let's geek out on how this mess begins. Data breaches are a big culprit. Companies store info like names, social security numbers, emails, and if their security is weak, hackers break in like they have a master key.
Break it down for us non-techies, Amy. How does a hacker actually get through a digital front door of a major corporation?
Sure, Derek. Hackers exploit vulnerabilities like outdated software or phishing employees. Sometimes it's an SQL injection, where they trick a website's database into dumping all its secrets. Once in, they grab databases full of millions of people's personal data. Then, it hits the dark web, this hidden part of the internet where stolen info is sold like hotcakes. It's an underground marketplace, anonymous and encrypted. You can buy a Fullz, which is a complete set of identity data, for less than the price of a decent pizza.
And that's where the detective work kicks in. Victims need to file a police report right away. It's crucial for reclaiming your identity. That report becomes your shield when dealing with banks and credit bureaus. Without that official document, you are just a person complaining about a bill. With it, you are a victim of a crime with legal standing. It changes the conversation from, please believe me, to, here's the legal proof.
Exactly. Let's talk laws. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, is basically your legal hammer. It forces these credit card companies to actually listen to you and fix errors within a month. It's one of the best tools victims have, but you have to know how to use it. You have to be persistent.
And we've got teeth now. We use the Deterrence Act to make it a federal case, and the Penalty Enhancement Act to bury them if they use your name for other felonies. It sends a message. Mess with someone's identity. Face serious time in a federal facility.
Tough stuff. But hey, detective, ever had a case where the thief was someone close, like a family member? That adds another layer of betrayal that a password manager can't fix.
Too many times, kid. It's heartbreaking. I've seen parents steal their children's credit to pay off gambling debts. I've seen siblings ruining each other's lives. It's called familial identity theft, and it's often the hardest to prosecute because the victim doesn't want to send their own relative to jail. But if you don't report it, you are stuck with the debt.
That's a brutal choice to make. Let's shift to signs. How do you know if you're a victim before the debt collectors start pounding on the door?
One big sign is mail. If you stop getting your regular bank statements, so you notice your credit card bills aren't arriving, someone might have filed a change of address form in your name. They want to intercept those new credit cards before you see them.
And online, look for weird logins to your accounts from unknown devices. Most apps now send a notification saying, "Was this you?" If you see one from a city you have never visited, don't ignore it. Or tax returns. If you try to file your taxes and the IRS says you've already filed, that's a classic sign that someone has your Social Security number and is looking for a quick payout.
Nailed it. Now, protection. How do we armor up? How do we make ourselves a hard target so the hackers move on to someone easier?
Start simple. Strong, unique passwords for every account. If you use password 123 for everything, you are basically leaving your front door wide open. Use the password manager so you don't have to remember them all. Enable two-factor authentication everywhere. That's mostly referred to as TFA, or the number 2 FA. It's the digital equivalent of having a deadbolt and a security alarm. Even if they get your password, they can't get into your account without that code on your phone.
Freeze your credit with the big 3 bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's free and stops new accounts from opening in your name. I tell everyone to do this proactively. You can unfreeze it in minutes when you actually need to buy a car or a house. It is the single most effective thing you can do to stop identity theft in its tracks.
Monitor your credit reports regularly. You're entitled to one free report from each credit bureau. And shred sensitive documents before tossing them. Dumpster diving is still a very real way for low-tech thieves to get your info. If it has your name and account number, it needs to be confetti before it hits the bin.
Copy that. Be cautious with sharing info, kid. Only give social security numbers when absolutely necessary. Most doctors or gyms don't actually need it, even if there is a line for it on the form. Just leave it blank. If they ask, tell them you don't provide it for non-credit purposes, and watch for phishing emails or calls pretending to be from banks. Your bank will never call you and ask for your password or your social.
Speaking of tech, services like My Data Removal can help. They scan the web for your personal info on data broker sites and request its removal. These data brokers are companies you have never heard of that scrape your info from public records and sell it to anyone with a credit card. If your data isn't in the database, it can't be stolen when the database gets hacked. It's all about reducing your attack surface. One tool that you can use that would help is Google has Results About You. It's a dedicated privacy tool that helps you monitor, manage, and request the removal of personal or sensitive information such as your home address, phone numbers, email addresses, and government-issued IDs that appear in Google search results. It's free, easy to use, and all you need is a Google account.
Smart move. Reduces the risk of your data being out there for grabs. It's about shrinking your digital footprint. The less there's to find, the less there's to steal.
Let's circle back to a story. Imagine Jordan, a teacher who volunteers at animal shelters. Jordan starts getting calls from lenders about a loan for a fancy car they never bought. Heart racing, Jordan realizes their identity has been stolen. The stress keeps them up at night, questioning every transaction they ever made. They feel like a stranger in their own life.
And to clean up, Jordan files a police report, which helps when contacting creditors. Under FCRA, they dispute the fraud, and the bureaus remove it after investigation. It's a long road, but it starts with that first call to the authorities. You have to be the squeaky wheel. You have to call the banks, the credit bureaus, and the police until the mess is gone.
But it's not instant. Jordan spends weekends on the phone gathering affidavits. Humor me, detective. What's the weirdest identity theft case you've seen in your career?
One guy had his info used to adopt pets online. Dozens of exotic cats shipped to fake addresses. The victim ended up with vet bills and adoption fees in his name. It was a bizarre case of animal hoarding by proxy. It took us months to figure out that the thief wasn't even interested in the guy's money. They just wanted to bypass the background checks for pet adoptions.
Pets? That's a new one. Remind me, data on the dark web sells cheap because the supply is so high. Social security numbers go for as little as a couple bucks. And a Fullz package, name, social security, date of birth, and address, sells for about $20 to $100 on the dark web markets. It's cheap because the supply from these data breaches is endless. They deal in volume, hitting millions for small profits each.
Cheap crime, expensive fix. So if you suspect theft, report it immediately, kid. Do not wait for it to go away. It won't. It will only snowball.
Step 1, Derrick. Contact the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, at their identity theft site. File a report there. It's your official action plan. It generates the documents you need to prove the crime to everyone else. It's a one-stop shop for the paperwork side of the nightmare.
Then, local police. Get that official report number. Notify your bank, close compromised accounts, change your PINs. It's about containment. You want to stop the bleeding before you try to heal the wound.
Alert the credit bureaus. Place fraud alerts or freezes. And inform the IRS if taxes are involved. They have a special department just for this because tax fraud is a multi-billion-dollar problem.
Persistence pays off. Follow up on everything. Keep a log of everyone you speak to and what they promise to do. Write down names, dates, and badge numbers.
Another analogy? It's like your identity is your house. Thieves break in and trash the place. You board up the windows with protection, call the cops to investigate, and slowly rebuild. It takes time. But you have to make your house stronger than it was before by installing better locks.
Poetic, geek. But seriously, respecting authorities means reporting promptly. It helps us catch patterns and stop thieves before they hit the next 10 people on their list. We often find that one thief is responsible for hundreds of victims in the same area.
True. And for our listeners, remember, education is key. We're all potential targets in this digital age. Ignorance is a vulnerability that hackers love to exploit. They count on you not knowing your rights or how to lock your accounts.
Think about Sarah, a baker with a small shop. She notices unauthorized wire transfers. Feels like her hard-earned dreams are slipping away. The emotional weight, it's like carrying an invisible backpack full of bricks everywhere she goes. She feels watched, even when she is alone.
She reports it and uses My Data Removal to scrub her info online and fortifies her digital life. She turns the tide. She moves from being a victim to being a survivor. She realizes that while they took her money, they couldn't take her skills or her reputation.
Prevention beats cure, kid. Use secure Wi-Fi. Avoid public networks for sensitive stuff like banking. If you're at a coffee shop, use a VPN or your phone's data. Public Wi-Fi is like a playground for hackers.
And update software. Patches fix those vulnerabilities hackers love. When your phone asks to update at 2 in the morning, let it. That update might be the only thing standing between you and an SQL injection or a malware attack.
Geek, pretend I'm a rookie and remind our listeners what malware is and an SQL injection.
SQL injection is a cyber attack. It exploits insecure code, allowing attackers to bypass authentication, view restricted data, or delete or modify database records. Malware is short for malicious software. It's a program or code specifically designed to damage, disrupt, or gain unauthorized access to a computer, network, or mobile device. Its primary goal includes stealing sensitive data, extorting money, or simply sabotaging system operations.
Have you ever wondered why thieves target identities specifically instead of just robbing a bank?
Easy money. Low risk if they're not caught. They can sit in a different country and ruin your life without ever leaving their desk. It's a cowardly way to make a living, but it's highly profitable.
But with laws like the Penalty Enhancement Act, the risks are rising. Stiffer sentences deter some, and better international cooperation is making it harder to hide. We are getting better at tracing the money, even when it goes to crypto, and it's evolving fast. AI deepfakes for impersonation, synthetic identities blending real and fake data to open accounts, even deepfake job candidates slipping past HR. Criminals use generative AI to scale attacks, making verification harder. That's why layered defenses like credit freezes and live verification challenges are non-negotiable now.
I hope so, Detective. Let's touch on medical identity theft. This is one that people rarely think about. Someone uses your info for healthcare, messing up your medical records.
That is a dangerous one, Amy. A wrong blood type or an incorrect allergy on your file because of a thief could be life-threatening in an emergency. It's not just your wallet, it's your life. I've even seen cases where a victim's insurance was maxed out by a thief's surgery. When the real person actually needed help, the company denied the claim because, on paper, they'd already used their benefits. You're lying in a hospital bed and the computer says you're already cured.
That's terrifying. It's like being a ghost in your own medical file. Or think about employment theft, where they use your name to get a job because they can't pass a background check themselves. This leads to massive tax issues for you at the end of the year. When the IRS thinks you had a second income you didn't report, you end up owing taxes on money you never saw.
It has a broad impact. Protection tip: review your explanation of benefits from your insurance company regularly. If you see a doctor's visit or a surgery you didn't have, flag it immediately. Don't just throw those papers in the trash.
And for kids, monitor their credit too. Thieves target unused Social Security numbers because they know no one will check a 7-year-old's credit report for a decade. By the time that kid turns 18, their credit is already destroyed.
Copy that. Sneaky. Story time. Young Riley, just starting college, applies for student loans. Denied because of massive debt in their name. Turns out their identity was stolen when they were a toddler. Riley has years of cleanup ahead before they can even start their education. Their future was stolen before it even began.
Tragic. That emphasizes starting protection early. You can freeze a child's credit just like an adult's. In fact, you should. It's the best graduation present you can give them.
Switching gears, how do these breaches happen, technically? You mentioned SQL injections earlier. Give us a little more of that geek magic, kid.
Sure. Another common one is a man-in-the-middle attack. That's why public Wi-Fi is so dangerous. A hacker sets up a fake Wi-Fi hotspot called Free Coffee Shop Wi-Fi. When you connect, all your data flows through their laptop before it goes to the internet. They can see your passwords, your bank details, everything. It's like someone standing between you and your mailbox, reading your letters before putting them in the mailbox.
Sounds like sci-fi, but it's real-world crime happening in every airport and library in the country.
No lasers or holographic screens, just lines of code and a cheap Wi-Fi antenna. The dark web uses Tor for anonymity, which stands for the onion router. It routes your traffic through 3 different layers of volunteer servers to hide your origin.
Useful for good people in oppressive regimes who need privacy, but a playground for the bad guys who want to sell your social security number for $5.
It's a balance. Now, reporting to authorities beyond local police, if it's interstate or massive amounts of money, the FBI gets involved. They have a whole division called the Cyber Division that handles this.
And the Secret Service handles a lot of financial crimes and credit card fraud. People forget they were originally started to stop counterfeiters. They are the experts in following the money.
It's a team effort to bring these people down. It takes the tech, the boots on the ground, and the victims speaking up.
Let's discuss recovery. After reporting, get an identity theft affidavit from the FTC. It's a formal sworn statement that you're a victim. It's your golden ticket to getting things fixed.
Use it to dispute with creditors. Most of them are legally required to stop collections and remove fraudulent charges while they investigate if you provide that affidavit.
Patience is vital, geek. Some victims hire lawyers, but many handle it solo with enough persistence and a good filing system. You have to stay organized. Keep a binder with every letter and every report.
There are plenty of resources online, but always verify the sources. Don't fall for a credit repair scammer claiming they can fix your credit for a fee. That's just getting scammed twice by someone who's probably using the same stolen data.
Another example, Pat, a retiree enjoying gardening, gets bills for medical procedures they never had. Feels invaded. Trust in the system is shattered. Pat feels like they can't even trust their own mailbox anymore.
Pat uses My Data Removal, minimizes future risks, and slowly regains confidence. It's about taking the power back and realizing that you aren't helpless.
Proactive is always better than reactive. If you wait for the disaster, you are already behind.
Humor break. Identity theft is like a blind date. They pretend to be you, they spend all your money, and then they leave you with the bill and a headache. And you're the one who has to explain to your bank why you bought 5 jet skis in Florida.
And there's definitely no second date.
Exactly, Detective. Signs also include seeing new accounts on your credit reports that you've never applied for, or getting calls from people asking for someone with your name but a different middle initial.
Or unfamiliar addresses showing up as your primary residence. That is a huge red flag that someone is trying to build a secondary identity using your foundations.
Protect yourself by opting out of pre-screened credit card offers. Those envelopes in your mailbox are gold for identity thieves who can just grab them and fill them out in your name.
Call 1-888-5-OPTOUT. That's 1-888-5-OPT-OUT. It takes 2 minutes and removes you from those mailing lists for 5 years or permanently. It's a simple win.
As we wrap up, think about the bigger picture. Identity theft isn't just a personal problem. It's a societal issue. It drains billions of dollars from the economy and destroys families. By staying informed and reporting, we can all contribute to safer communities.
Well said. We make it harder for the criminals to breed when we all lock our digital doors.
But here's a twist for the ending. Imagine if identities were like unique, complex puzzles. Every piece, like your birthdate, your job, your childhood pet, is a part of who you are. Thieves try to steal these pieces to build a fake version of you, but they can never get the whole picture. They can never get the soul of the data. With knowledge and action, you can reassemble your puzzle even stronger, with extra locks and a better understanding of how these pieces fit together. So, listeners, piece together your protections, and those thieves won't stand a chance of finishing their fake version of you. They might have your numbers, but they will never have your life.
Clever way to end it, Geek. A puzzle that fights back. I like that. Until next time, stay safe out there.
See you in the trenches, Detective.
I'll bring the coffee.
I'll bring the encryption.
Deal.
Good night, Derrick.
Good night, Amy.
Thanks for joining us. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and rate us with 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Your support keeps us going. Catch us next month for more. Keep your eyes open and your data secure.